Well. They did not waste any time with this one. Hello everybody, this is R from DJR Union, and if you guys haven't already know, Union Arena site has dropped a little bit of news for us in the addition of what the restricted cards are going to be in a new upcoming set from JJK. I know, right? They didn't waste any time in giving us what's going to be on the ban list or the restricted list as compared to what's happening over in the JP version. So, if you guys don't already know, in the JP version, there was a bit of a restricted list limiting two cards from not being played with each other. And those two cards are going to be Yuji Itadoriya, right here, as we see right here, as well as Sukuna. Now, for those of you who don't know, are probably wondering yourself, why did they end up banning these two cards from being played with each other? Well, the reason is quite simple. Because we look at the effect of Yuji over here, it says that when played, it's allowed to look at the top 5 cards of your deck and add a Sukuna's finger from among them into your hand, while placing the remaining cards to the bottom of the deck. So, it doesn't seem that bad, really. Of course, you like cards that want to dig into your deck, and you heard me say it more times than not. Digging into your deck is indeed very powerful, but it's just adding to hand. And if you read the other cards, the Sukuna's effect don't really start happening until the Sukuna cards are in the graveyard. So why is this so broken? Well, if we go at the 4 energy, 1 action point Sukuna raid here, it reads that when played, you get to draw 2 cards, then play 1 card from your hand into your sideline. This is where this card becomes an issue. Because you see, not only are you digging 5 cards deep with Yuji Itadori, I should say, you're also digging an additional 2 more cards deep when you raise Sukuna right on top of Yuji. So if you go for a 2 action combo where you play Yuji first, dig 5 cards deep, find a Sukuna, and then on top of that, you play Sukuna right here, dig another 2 cards deep, find the finger, or add any card into your hand, and then you take whatever Sukuna card or Sukuna finger card you have into your hand and put it into the sideline. You just dig 7 cards deep into your deck, and you made an amazing play. So now this raid Sukuna is now coming onto the field with as a 5k BP versus a 4k BP. Extremely broken. Because as we know, the baseline BP for characters is 4k. A lot of raid characters specifically have 4k BP, with only very few exceptions of 5k BP. And majority of the time, those 5k BP are mainly on your turn, not necessarily on your opponent's turn. If Sukuna is rated with this effect is triggered, or you have these many copies of Sukuna fingers in your sideline, this guy's going to be having 5k BP during the entire match. He's going to be overpowering all of your 4k beaters, and there's not going to be much of anything you can do about it, unless of course you have some kill spells like Daigen Horimaru or let's say Getsuga, or in this case Divergent Fist. Other than that, you're not going to be able to deal with this card. And you can get these raid cards out as early as your turn 3. So turn 3 5k beater. On top of that, if you have more copies, it gains impact 1. It's going to be a big issue. So I could definitely see why they're going to go ahead and restrict these 2 cards from being played together over here in the West, as it already happened over in the JP version. Now, I haven't been following up with too much, and I don't know had they removed this restriction yet or not. I don't know, but from what I saw when this combo first came out, it was restricted and it was stopped to really prevent a toxic gameplay environment. Which I don't blame them. You don't want to sit here and have everybody playing the same deck, because that's not fun when you have 80% of the player base playing the same deck, as we can currently see with Kurapika, where it's like a lot of Kurapika decks are just dominating the meta right now, which I hope, or praise to God or some sort, that they deal with that or restrict some cards, saying like, hey, Kurapika is too strong right now, we need to do something about it. But I really do appreciate that they taking the time and taking the effort to address an issue that was going on in the JP version before it even becomes an issue over here in the West. So they are paying attention, they are looking at the stats of the gameplay and like say tournament results, and they're realizing, hey, this is an issue, we need to take care of this now. So I really do appreciate it, because to me it showcases that the people over at Bandai do care about the game. They do care about their player base and making sure this game maintains itself and is able to continue maintaining itself over a long period of time. Now, with that being the case, if these two cards are not going to be able to be played with each other, does that turn off the deck? Does that make the deck completely unplayable? Well, in my opinion, no, because even though we have this restriction going on that you cannot play these two cards together with each other, we still have other ways of utilizing mechanics in order to get Sukuna's finger into the sideline. And one of those cards that we can go over here is the other Sukuna itself. As you can see, if we read this 5 energy cost 1 action raise Sukuna, it reads over here on its second effect that you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Sukuna finger or a malevolent shrine card among them, and add it to your hand, and place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this card is really good. Like I said, same thing, it's thinking 5 cards deep. It's doing 2 things for the price of 1, in my opinion, and you're able to find a Sukuna's finger or a malevolent shrine and add it to your hand. So Yuji is not going to be the only card that's going to be able to search into your deck and add cards into your hand. But I guess what makes the Yuji card much more broken than the Sukuna card right here is the fact that it's 2 energy versus 5 energy. So you can literally get this out on your second turn, or yeah, you can really get this out on your second turn if you need to, and then follow it up with Sukuna on your third turn. Versus this card, you're probably not going to see this card till your 4th turn, in my opinion. But still, it's still another way in order to add those Sukuna fingers to your hand. In addition to this, we also have Nobinora, you know, best girl in the city, and you already know what she does. She draws a card and places 1 card from your hand into your sideline. So obviously you're going to be playing her as a 4-of in your deck anyway, so you're still going to have methods on drawing cards into your hand and putting cards from your hand into your sideline. So nonetheless, if you have Sukuna finger in your hand that you're trying to get to your sideline, Nobara, or I know I just butchered her name, but Nobara is definitely going to make that happen for you. So without further ado, like I said, it's still not going to stop the deck from doing what it needs to do, which is getting cards into your hand and putting cards into your sideline. Another card that we have that is also going to help out Sukuna a lot is, of course, you know, the next best girl on the list. You need my personal favorite, Maki. I'm still waiting for the pose, but you know, we'll get to that point when we get there. But of course, when you look at Maki, she has an effect that when she's played, you get to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add one of those cards to your hand, and place the remaining cards in the sideline. So it's pretty much look at the top 2 cards, select which card you want to add to your hand, and select which card you want to add into the sideline. So that's a pretty good way to dig 2 cards deep. And you see a Sukuna finger out of those 2 cards, you're like, of course, I'm gonna put the Sukuna card in the sideline. I'm gonna be triggering the effects and turning on my Sukuna, making him that much more broken and that much more powerful as a whole. But yeah, like I said, it's still another way of getting your Sukuna cards into your sideline. And I can definitely see people playing Maki here as a 4-of just to get that consistency of saying, hey, let me see I can get cards into your sideline, because this is one of the things you want to try to do with the deck. You want to get your fingers into the sideline so that way you can make your Sukunas as busted and as powerful as possible. So as we look over these cards in the blue JJK set, as well as these restricted cards right here, in my opinion, I think what's going to end up happening is that since you can't play these 2 cards together, people are not probably going to play this Yuji Itadoriya. I mean, me personally, I probably wouldn't play this Yuji. I would just go ahead and play the Sukuna, knowing that I have cards as this Sukuna, especially Nobara and Maki right here. That is like, I could just play these cards in the early game to get my Sukuna fingers into my sideline, and then go ahead and start setting up the raid into my Sukuna right here. Because even then, looking back here at our order list, we still have this Yuji right here that we can use to our advantage, as well as we have this Yuji right here that we can use and play into our field just to set up for our Sukunas. It's not going to be as fast, don't get me wrong, as compared to, like, saying playing this Sukuna and going straight into the not Sukuna, I mean, but playing this Yuji and going straight into Sukuna. We won't be able to be as quick with it as we would like, but it's not impossible. We can still play 4 of these bad boys, and then probably give and take is 2 actions, probably 2, maybe 4 if you're feeling frisky about it, and still be able to get our same gameplay going on. We just can't be able to get it as fast or get it out as fast as compared to other decks so far. But even then, I still don't think that's going to stop this deck too much. I still think that blue JJK, especially blue Sukuna JJK, is still going to be a powerful contender. I think it's still going to shape up the meta once it drops on the 22nd of November. So I'm still hyped to see how this is going to play out, because you know we're struggling here with Kurapika dominating the meta. We definitely need some spice up in this mix. You know, pumpkin spice, regular spice, hot sauce, you name it. We definitely need something to take this current meta and like really shake it up a bit. But that's it for the forbidden list, or the forbidden or restricted list right here. Do I think it's a big impact to the game? Yes and no. Yes, because it like makes the deck slower, but no, I still think though JJK, especially blue JJK, is still gonna be a top contender as a top tier deck. And yeah, all that's left here is to just wait and see how it plays out. Once again, I've been R with DGR Union, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.